Hello, welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 2nd June 2021. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Palace Marketing, rehumanizing your marketing experience. My name is Sean. This week's news: Twitter releasing a $3 a month subscription plan, that's US dollars. Rumor has been circulating of Twitter's elusive premium plan that allows, among all features, the ability to undo a tweet. Well, a screenshot dropped by Jane Manchun Wong last week on this premium plan, which Twitter calls Twitter Blue. It will cost us $3 a month, and it will include some special features like undo tweet, turning tweet threads into easy to read more, kind of like reader versions, lack of a better name, changing your tweet icon colors, novelty, ability to organize tweets into collections and folders, and more. It may be something Twitter heavy users love. I do understand that some people who use Twitter very much would love to have, especially that read more kind of reader version, easy to read version of the threads, because the threads are quite messy. And the ability to undo tweet as well, because tweeters tend to be a little bit too trigger friendly when it comes to communicating in Twitter, and the undo gives them the ability to come to their senses and undo that tweet. But for the rest of us, we may not see the value in those little things. It also helps Twitter monetize in ways other than ads. It's just sad that Twitter needs to pay Apple 30% for every $3 that gets sold on iOS. So let me know, are you excited on Twitter Blue? Yes, no? I do know some people who live on Twitter and some people who don't even have the app in their phones. Now everyone can remove like counts on Instagram and soon on Facebook. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a flu, so if you catch me sniffling, I'm so sorry. By making us like each other's content, social platforms have successfully created a system that got the whole world addicted and wanting more. Each time we post something, we hope that it will garner us more likes than the last post, and the next one more than this one, and then some, and then some, and eventually becomes a form of unhealthy obsession. So it has come to a point where Instagram stopped becoming a scrapbook of our lives, and now it has become kind of a place where we post things that we know people will like, objectifying ourselves, for example, so that we get more likes, and then we do more of it so we get more likes. Instagram has been experimenting on removing this ghastly feature we can't live without for a long time now, and it's finally available to everyone. Once you can get past the need for validation by your peers, all you have to do is go to settings, privacy, post, hide like and view counts. There is also an option to turn off likes and view counts on your own posts, which is done via the advanced setting part before publishing the post. So it happens on a post by post basis. It's not a global thing. By doing this, Instagram hopes that the people will see past the number of likes and views of any content and actually appreciate the content for what they are. But because it's optional, only those with low counts like myself will disable them. Those who thrive in receiving thousands of likes per post will still ride on that addiction. Here's to fixing a social problem by throwing the ball back at us. Thanks, Instagram. Twitter relaunched verification requests, then paused it, then resumed it again. Twitter has removed a public request for the blue tick since 2017 because users couldn't figure out what that meant. Some people from certain industries and certain political sides was given blue ticks, and other people of similar calibers on the other sides don't get. It's a very American thing. So if you were following the Trump's administration, you would know. Twitter has been handing out verification ticks to those the company deems fit to bear it, much like how other social companies have been doing. So other social companies like Facebook and all that, they give the ticks based on criteria that is not known to public, and that way they get to control who gets it, who don't get it, and when people ask, it becomes like, oh, we feel that they met the criteria in our list. But in the spirit of openness and transparency, Twitter has opened verification requests up again last week to whoever who thinks they should be given one. Of course, there is a set criteria that they need to fill as well. And within a week, they had to temporarily close down their doors to handle the overwhelming applications. Makes sense because they closed it out for so long. Now that they open again, everybody wants a blue tick. So everybody applies for a blue tick. In its tweet, Twitter said, we're rolling in verification requests. So we got to hit pause on accepting any more for now while we review the ones that we have been submitted. We will reopen requests soon. We pinky swear. Just a couple of hours ago, Twitter then dropped another tweet saying requests are open again. I can foresee Twitter needing to keep closing down verifications for a few times, closing and reopening a few times before that order number, the magnitude of backlog order numbers taper down into more manageable levels. It is good to see that Twitter is taking a more transparent approach to the verification process versus other social platforms who don't tell us how we are getting it and why we're getting it. But they're opening a can of worms because they need to be able to answer as to why one can get and one cannot get a blue tick, and getting all these answerings is it could get political, and I believe that it's something a company shouldn't have to deal with. You can now embed Facebook videos at chosen timecodes. Facebook wants you to treat video uploads onto their platform as more than just for consumption within its platform. That's saying they want us to use Facebook videos like how we use YouTube videos. We put it in as an archive and then we share it and embed it everywhere. And they're adding a feature that YouTube has long enabled to users, which lets us embed a video at a chosen timecode instead of starting from the very beginning. When embedding videos on our website, we sometimes want to start at a certain timecode instead of at the beginning, right? Because it helps blogs that are talking about a certain topic and not start from the beginning, not get the audience to start the video from the beginning, but instead jump right into the topic itself. Not cutting the video also allows your audience to continue watching the video if they so choose, and to be able to find, explore other content in that video and also look at other videos eventually as well. To be fair, people who have been tinkering with codes can already do it with a simple HTML, but now the difference is that when you upload it, you can actually insert the timecode in which you can use to embed, and it automatically goes into the embed code itself. So if you have been using uploading Facebook videos a lot, perhaps more than YouTube videos, more than on YouTube, and use Facebook to upload to embed it onto your website, then using a timecode will help you kind of narrow down your discussions a little bit in your blog. Ads in IG Reels coming to more regions. After testing in a few regions in the past month, ads for Reels are coming to more parts of the world. It works much like TikTok ads, where they appear between Reels and include the sponsored tag below the profile. It was launched in India, Brazil, Germany, and Australia last month, and it will be coming to Canada, France, the US, and the UK. In order to snatch some creators' attentions away from TikTok, Instagram has been paying some creators for their content. It is their hope that more content will drive more audience, which in turn drive up ad spending. And when ad spending goes up, ultimately Instagram will use some of their profits to offset the amount they pay the creators as well. And it is not it. I don't think that this will be this paying the creator thing will be something that Instagram will do for a long run, but it's just in the beginning to kind of lure creators away from TikTok and also participate in Reels. WhatsApp backwalks its aggressive restrictions. A couple of weeks ago, I actually reported that WhatsApp is planning to pester users who don't accept its new terms with an in-your-face pop-up banner on the app actually that covers everything, that eventually will not go away, in which will render that app completely useless because you can't read chat, you can't use the commands and everything. Now they say that that's not going to happen. They say that now the reminder will keep popping up, but it will not persist. So which means that we can still remove it and still be able to use the app. Perhaps it's got something to do with the intense pressure from countries, especially India, in which WhatsApp can't live without, because they believe that India is a very big market, and they have worked very hard to set a foothold on India, and they can't let that just go away with a simple terms and conditions thing. But they cannot also give special leeway for India and not the other countries in the world. So because if that happens, then there will be a massive backlash. So it has to be consistent throughout. So we'll see what happens, but at this rate, it will seem as if it will cost them more resources to push ahead than just to call this off, like revert on the whole thing and say, well, it's not going to happen. But Facebook being Facebook, they will eventually get what they want, because no matter how much it costs them, it will gain them a lot more for them knowing who are all these WhatsApp users. Alright, so that's all for Social Media Weekly this week. Social Media Weekly podcast available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. And if you like Social Media Weekly and the content that we create, please rate and review it on your podcast feeder of your choice, and on YouTube if you're watching the video, so more can discover it and more can also see value in the content that we create. That's it for Social Media Weekly, episode 2nd June 2021. My name is Sean. See you next week. Stay safe. Au revoir.